What does it take to create a killer YouTube video in 2024? Well, over the last few years, I've created and uploaded over 500 YouTube videos across my own channels and as well as across my clients' channels. And every single time creating a YouTube video that not only looks and sounds good, but actually performs for the YouTube algorithm has boiled down to these exact same 5 steps. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down this 5-step formula and showing you how you can apply it to your own videos no matter what niche you're in. The first step is by far the most overlooked, and yet is also the one that is most important for actually driving results. Now, I know you've seen this creator and maybe it's you. They think that creating and uploading more videos automatically means their channel grows. So they take out their iPhone, they start yapping about the first thing that comes to mind, but 50 videos later, they can't figure out why their videos are getting 50 views. And then they look over at their competitor who's getting thousands of views per video, becoming an industry authority and literally printing money out of thin air for their business. While the main difference is that one of them has good video ideas and the other one's video ideas suck. Let me explain. So a good video idea is the foundation of a good video, because if the video idea sucks, your videos just aren't going to perform, right? And there's a lot of ways people do ideation nowadays, whether it be SEO research or outlier theory. What I like to do is a combination of both, because not only one works. There's multiple ways that you can find good video ideas. You can look at questions that your customers are asking, you can see common pain points, and you really need to have a holistic view of what your ideal viewer wants to actually see. And most of the time, people sacrifice quantity over quality. So when I speak about these high volume creators, they create 5 videos a week, but they don't spend any time developing the ideas. They upload a video idea on the first thing that comes to mind, and as a result, they get steady views, but nothing exponential. You know, they might still be getting, a couple hundred views here and there. Maybe one of them gets some SEO rankings, but nothing substantial, right? And then you get the quality first creators who are actually spending a good amount of time doing ideation. They produce less videos every month, maybe around 6 to 8, but each of these videos is highly researched, is highly thought out, and there's actually a structured plan around how this video and why this video is going to perform. They're not just throwing things at the wall and hoping something sticks. And overall, the big picture is that if your idea sucks, the video just isn't going to perform. No matter how good the editing is, the scripting, the thumbnail, none of that matters if the core idea is not compelling. So what is the approach that the top creators in the space are using, and what is the approach that my team and I use at my agency? It's a combination of, as I said, outlier theory as well as SEO. So when on YouTube, you want to be constantly looking out for outlier videos that have performed well compared to all their previous videos. An easy way to do this is obviously to go to a competitor channel and sort by, popular videos. However, this method alone is not enough, because if you actually want success long term, your whole ideation theory can't just be creating the most popular videos from your competitor, because the reality is you don't know why that video performed. You don't know if it was their authority, who they are as a person. You don't know if it was a script, you don't know if it was the editing, or maybe it was just the time that they uploaded. Maybe something was going on at that specific time. Maybe an algorithm change, maybe a sudden demand for this idea or thing that they're creating a video on. You simply don't know what it was that made that video perform. So basing your whole ideation theory on just copying the most popular videos from other people without seeing that it works consistently, that title format or that idea across multiple channels and multiple people, you're not going to get the best results, right? So what you actually want to do is make sure that you're finding these most popular videos across multiple competitors, writing them all down on a list, and then let's say you get a list of 50 ideas, 50 title formats, 50 things that you could create. Then you want to go through them and see which ones are performing across multiple creators, which ones are proven, because you don't want to find the video ideas that performed once for one person. You want to find the ones that are consistently working and consistently are guaranteed that if you create that same video idea, you'll most likely get an outlier. So all you're doing then is refining that list and then finding the ones that you're going to create videos on. So when someone opens the homepage on YouTube, they're going to be presented with dozens of options to choose from. So if your video doesn't stand out, it's simply not going to get clicked. And that's why the next step is focusing on creating your title and thumbnail. So what makes a great title and thumbnail? So they should have a broad appeal and cater to a wider audience. They should visually pop and have bold colors and clear text, ideally around 3 words, no more than 5. The thumbnail should pique curiosity while the title clearly sets the video's value. So what you actually want to do is test and compare different thumbnails. See what works, see what style doesn't work in your niche, and then optimize from there. You really won't know until you test it. Luckily for us, YouTube recently introduced the A/B test feature. Now, it doesn't work as well unless you have thousands of views and subscribers, but it will give you a sense of what thumbnails are working better. So if you have multiple variations, pop it in the A/B test and see what it says, and then optimize from there. The next step I'm about to share with you is probably the most disregarded of all. Most YouTube gurus will tell you to optimize your YouTube videos for things like retention. But the truth is that in the current YouTube algorithm, the one metric that YouTube looks at more than anything else is actually viewer satisfaction. Viewer satisfaction is the measurement of how much people actually enjoy your video and how much they engage with it. And so therefore, to increase viewer satisfaction, you actually have to create great content. There's no way to skip around this. And one of the most important parts of creating a great video is actually what's being said, aka the script. So the only issue with scripting is that it's a massive time investment. Coming up with what you're gonna say, finding good ways to articulate it. This stuff takes effort and it takes time, and a lot of people just aren't willing to put in that time investment, and so they decide to go with the raw style videos because it's simply easier to do. But as we've already discussed, simply doing that doesn't just work, right? So if you can learn YouTube script writing and you can actually apply it to your niche and actually figure out how it works, your channel is going to have exponential growth and you're going to crush your competitors because they simply aren't putting in the effort to do this. So there are 3 parts to a killer script, and these are the hook, the body, the outro, and CTA, right? So the main goal of the hook is to validate the click that you've got from the viewer and then set the expectations for the video and pique their curiosity and interest. So you actually want to be outlining the video and telling the viewer what they're going to get and what they're going to learn from the video. I'm not going to go too in depth into scripting. I'll have a separate video out if you want to learn the specifics and the detailed strategies we use to write killer scripts. This is just a quick breakdown for those who know absolutely nothing about YouTube script writing. So the next part is the body. So what we normally do is write out the talking points as bullet points, not word for word. And then this kind of gives you a sense of what you should be saying. You want to make sure that you're keeping the language conversational and not robotic, because if you sound like a robot, no one's going to relate to you and no one's going to want to actually watch the video, right? And then in terms of open loops, what these are is the introductory sentences and paragraphs to each new point in the video. What we normally do is script these out word for word, because these are what are going to allow us to create intrigue with the viewer for each new section and really make sure that you're emphasizing the importance of this next part of the video. This is extremely important for having people actually watch through the entire video and not just clicking off after the first point that you made. And then in terms of the outro, what you want to avoid doing is recapping the video. If someone wants to go back, they can click back in the video and go watch. Recapping the video really hurts retention. And you also want to keep this brief. So either pitch them to go watch another video or pitch them on your services. Most of the time, if it's a shorter video, you don't want to pitch too heavily on your services. You really want to make sure that you're directing them to go watch some bottom of funnel content, such as a case study, a client interview, or just some other video that actually relates to this video. And now that we have the script figured out, the next step is obviously actually filming the video. And I promise you, having basic equipment is fine. You don't have to have a 4K camera like what you're seeing this video on, or a fancy lens. All you need is some good lighting so people can actually see you, and a stable camera position at eye level. If you're on a budget, an iPhone is fine and a mini tripod is fine. It really doesn't matter. I would avoid using your webcam from your laptop. A lot of the time, these are just really bad quality, and when a viewer sees this, they don't want to watch it. It's not visually pleasing and it actually hurts to watch. So if you have really bad webcam quality, maybe don't do that. Maybe use your phone instead. In terms of lighting, you can have basic lighting such as a ring light. These are easy to pick up off Amazon and aren't too expensive. You don't have to have a studio light. So in terms of actually delivering your lines, look at your script, think about what you're going to say. And another thing that people are scared to do is have multiple takes. So you're allowed to mess up. You're allowed to spend extra time on making sure that you're delivering the lines the correct way. No one's going to judge. Your editor's not going to judge. So really make sure that you're doing this, that you look and feel confident when you are delivering your video. Because there's no point of spending hundreds of dollars for the video on editing and thumbnail and putting in all this effort if when you've actually delivered the video and you look back at the footage, you're talking like this and you're really scared to create. You see that tonality? It's not going to relate to the video. So assuming you've done this and you now have the raw footage, the next part is editing the video. And the editing really doesn't have to be too fancy. It doesn't have to be Iman Gaji style, but it does have to have good pacing, and you actually have to think this out in the editing process. Based on the energy that you delivered when filming the video, you can match the editing style to that. And you really want to plan this out so that there isn't some miscorrelation between how the video is edited and how you are talking. So what we do for educational content is slower, more deliberate editing, really focusing on less edits throughout the video, but emphasizing parts that are extremely important and that we want the viewer to focus on. But obviously, if you're creating entertainment content and your viewers are less sophisticated, you're going to need more fast-paced video editing to keep them engaged. When you look at Mr. Beast videos, the amount of editing within the first 30 seconds is astronomical. And editing is really the final cherry on top to a great video, because if the idea is great, if the script is great, if you've delivered it effectively, editing is just going to take your video to another level. Because there are a lot of people who say great things on the internet, but there's not a lot of people who are able to combine this with a visually pleasing video and something that actually catches the eye and keeps you wanting to watching more. We have dopamine receptors. We like watching things that look pretty. So if you can combine this with great educational content, great value, your video is going to bang. So those are the 5 steps to creating banger videos in 2024 and beyond. If you like this video and want to learn more about how to grow on YouTube, like and subscribe. If you're a business owner and you want to learn how I grow and monetize business channels, go watch this video over here. I'll see you guys in the next video.